who just took HD back in one of the noisiest family waiting areas ever here at the hospital. He is having a nuclear stress test this morning. Been a little concerned about it because his heart is not in great shape, but I'm confident he's in good hands. So they just took him back. They gave him the little things that run through his body as they take the picture. It's going to be done in different stages. So they're doing the first stage now where they're taking the pictures, initial pictures. Then they'll come out, let him sit for a while, and then they'll take him back in, give him, I guess, a shot of adrenaline to see how he does then. Then they'll bring him back out. And so it's going to be a process today, but we hope by having this done that his doctor will clear him for his back surgery. And it has been about 6 years since he had a stress test, so it's time to have another one done. But meanwhile, I'm going to try to catch some Z's because we've been up most of the night, and he had some anxiety, and we got up early to be there at the hospital at 7. So I will talk to you guys later as the day progresses. Bye. Okay. Hey, everybody. Well, we're home. It's been a long day. We're both tired. I'm home sitting in the backyard. We got it mowed. Our yard guy came by and mowed it today, and sitting out here with the cats. Harry's inside. He's in his recliner. He's catching up on some of his ball games. He loves his basketball, so he's watching some of the ones that were recorded. Today went well. It did wear him out. This is different than some of the nuclear tests he had in the past, and they gave him the nuclear because he cannot get on the treadmill. So what the process was is they took him back. They gave him a shot of something that travels through his blood, and I know I'm not going to get it right, so if there's doctors or nurses out there, you can correct me, but I'm just going to use Marvel DC terms. They gave him a shot of nanites, and the nanites were traveling through his blood. So they did that. He came out for a while and was with me for about a half an hour out in the waiting room. We both took a nap during that time. That was right after I spoke to you this morning. Then they took him back. They did a film on him. He said it was kind of like an MRI in the machine. So what they do is, as these nanites travel through his blood, they get a picture of his heart just at rest before they give him anything else. So they did all that, and then they give him it's kind of the equivalent of a shot of adrenaline to speed up his heart, to make it work like he was running a marathon or something like that. They do monitor him very closely. They do some readings on that. They have wires and everything all over his chest. So they read how he reacts to that. Then, after all that, he's given a snack and some water, which was good because he couldn't have any water or anything to eat after midnight last night. And he comes back out there with me again, and this time he's on a gurney, so he said he was kind of sleepy. After he'd been out there with me for about another half an hour, they came and got him again and took him back, and then they did another set of pictures on him after he had kind of calmed down, and the reaction of the shot and all that had gone through his system. And so they saw how his heart was beating, and the doctor explained it to me. The nurse explained it. Sorry, I'm so tired. The nurse explained it to me that what they do is these, again, for lack of a better word, these nanites that are traveling through his body, they can track these with the machine that they use, and see how the blood is flowing through his heart. Now, he has had, since his last stress test, he had, somebody's doing their yard. From his last stress test, we already know that the left side of his heart is struggling. He has some blockage in that side of his heart, in one of his major valves. That's the side that they're worried about. So these things, they go through there and they see how his heart's pumping, what kind of blockage he has, how the blood's flowing, that sort of thing. So by the time we were done, it was I think we got done about 11:30. So it was a long day at the hospital. Got him home, got him in his recliner, got him fed, and gave him something to drink. He wanted a Coke more than anything. So we went through Jack in the Box and got him a Coke Zero on ice, which is his favorite things. And got him a couple of breakfast jacks, because he loves those. And so by the time he had finished his second breakfast jack and started on his Coke, he had leaned back, and I was about dead tired, but I was taking care of things around the house, and I passed back through, and he was dead asleep. I mean, he was knocked out. So I put a blanket over him, and because he was getting cold. He said he was getting cold. He had a headache. So I monitored him for several hours, make sure that he was all right. And he took a nap, and about 3 o'clock, he said he was feeling good, that his headache was gone, and he was warming up a little bit, and he didn't hurt anywhere, and but he was tired. He said he was just tired from the whole ordeal, but he's in there now. He's resting, and he's comfortable, and he said his headache is gone, and he's feeling okay, and he's hungry, so I'm going to go rustle up some supper, and that's it. So now the result of this, so we kind of talked about that a little bit at the hospital. What we're trying to do is, right now he cannot walk more than a few feet. He can walk around the house using a cane. He can walk short distances, but anything more than just in the house, he really needs a wheelchair, because his back freezes up, and he has such severe pain down his legs freeze up on him. And there's been oftentimes that before we got the wheelchair, that he was just trying to make it, and we'd have to find a chair for him to stay on or something like that. So we did go to a neurosurgeon. The neurosurgeon took some MRIs of his lower lumbar, and he said that his L4, L5 vertebrae, he does have the spinal stenosis, in conjunction with severe arthritis. Cat here. He said that the surgeon, Dr. Geary, said that he could do the surgery for him, and he feels like he'd be a good candidate, and that he'd have successful relief from this, which is what we're hoping for, because that way it would help alleviate a lot of his pain. And also with this, he wants to be able to do some walking and things to help get the weight off of him that he has put on since he's been kind of down with his back, which has been about a year or more, about a year and a half, I guess. It's gotten steadily worse. And so, yeah, in order to do that, though, he had to have clearance through 3 of his doctors. 2 of them have already done that. The last holdout was his heart doctor, his cardiologist, and the cardiologist said he was going to have an echocardiogram and a stress test before he needed to look at those before he would give his consent for the surgery. So We had the EEG, or the echo, done at the VA a couple of weeks ago, and then the stress test today. So we're waiting to hear back from his cardiologist to see what he says about having his surgery, and we're going to go from there. So as soon as we hear from them, we'll let you know, and I'm just going to put all this stuff on my personal channel. Harry's okay with it. We're not going to get real personal, but he does want to share his story of what all he's battling to help other people that have been in the military that are suffering from different ailments, caused from them fighting in the war. With Harry's case, and we'll go into this more, but Harry is battling Agent Orange exposure. So he has been since 2013. That's when his whole body broke down. So, yeah, we'll get more into that later. But for right now, we got past that. We're both wore out. It's been a long day for us. It was a long night last night for us. So hopefully tonight he can relax watching his basketball, and we can get some sleep tonight, get some rest, and start a new day tomorrow. So there you go. That's it. I'm just enjoying the backyard and listening to the birds, and watching the cats listen to the birds, and we're calling it a night. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, and you guys have a good evening, and we'll get back with you. Bye.